Hey, everybody, welcome back to the Queen's Lair. I am your host, Kelly Miles, and this is the month of June where Father's Day falls. And so we're going to have some conversations about single fathers, the single father experience. And we always talk about single moms, and that's amazing because they do an excellent job at making sure that they take care of their responsibilities and their children. And we just want to take this time today to honor our single fathers because there's not a lot of times where we get to hear their story and their experience, what their experience is and how similar it is, and even how different it is to single moms. So we are going to get into this conversation, and we're going to say happy Father's Day in advance to all of you fathers out there in June. In this month of June, as we celebrate. So we just want to make sure that you guys know that you are recognized. We hear you and we see you. And we're going to have Mr. Gregory Campbell come on today. He's going to talk to us about his experience as a single father. And then hopefully that's something you guys can identify with. And hey, maybe you guys might want to jump on the show as well and share your story. So let's get ready to bring him on. Hey, Greg.
Hello, Kelly. How are you?
I'm good. Thank you so much for joining.
Thank you for having me. It's my pleasure to be here.
Yes, absolutely. Well, thank you so much. It's just so good to have somebody who's actually willing to share their story about single fatherhood. So before we go into that, tell us a little bit about who you are, what you do, where you're from, just so we kind of introduce you to the audience.
No problem. As I said, happy Father's Day to all the fathers out there. First of all, continue to do what you're doing. You're making a big difference in your child life, even though you don't know it. Well, Jamaican bred, Philly raised, Jersey live, if you can follow that. Um,
Yes.
I'm a health and safety specialist, so I do compliance. To make it easy, I just do compliance. I work around a lot of dangerous chemicals and
Mm.
to make the environment safe. So I just do compliance. And about myself is that I'm pretty easygoing, laid back, just like to enjoy my time with my kids and just have fun. Life is too short, so we just try to make the best of it.
Yeah. You got that right. You got to make the best of it. But so tell us first, how many children do you have and what are their ages?
Well, currently I have four children. I started off with a daughter and end with a daughter. It's nothing like having a daughter. So my first daughter, she is 21. She'll be 22 in May. I'm telling you, May 11th, she'll be
Next month.
22. Yeah.
No.
My oldest
Yeah.
son, a couple days, right? A couple days. My oldest son, he is 17, and then I have a 9-year-old who's turning 10, and my youngest daughter, she's 8, and she runs the house, so she's the ruler of the place.
Wow. Wow. Yeah, well, that's cool. And how old did you say your youngest is?
8. She's 8.
8. Wow.
Yeah, 8
So
going
she's
on 40.
is she in that sassy phase though? Because sometimes the daughters, when they get certain ages, it's like, I don't want to wear that. That's ugly.
She's in a phase where she do want to pick out her clothes, but she's not sassy at all. She is
Oh, that's
very
good.
helpful. She is very helpful. She's my sweetheart. I'm telling you, there's nothing like having a girl. I'm telling you, there's nothing like having a girl.
Yeah.
They do
Yeah.
when they get older, they gonna just go the way. But when they're younger, they are a sweetheart.
Yeah, that's so special. That's so special. I love that. So, tell me, how do you deal with managing conflict between the siblings? Because there's with four kids, four in the house, they're constantly, he touched this or she took my that. How do you deal with the conflicts within the siblings, between
Well,
the siblings?
that's a common thing with the conflicts. Dad, Malaya took this. Dad, Jalen took this. Dad, can you get them out my room? So me, I just put them in our room and say, fight it out. Which whoever wins, get. I'm joking. I'm joking. But being a single father, that is with your kids. That's a natural thing. They will always fight. But what
Hmm.
I've learned is that once they finish fight, they're the best friend afterwards.
Yeah.
So for me, the best way to deal with conflict is that I try to tell them work it out, work
Yeah.
it out. If you can't work it out, then I will step in. But you guys got to learn how to communicate with each other. and I try to be the example of them to show them how to deal with conflict and to show them that if you want a positive result, there's a way to go about it. If you want a negative result, there's a way to go about it. But being the fact that they're siblings, and I know for the fact that as soon as they finish fighting out, oh, Jalen ate my ice cream, Malaya touched my game, Kai, Daddy, can you please get it on? Right after the conflict is finished, they're the best friends. They're hugging, they're laughing. So it's for us not to read too deep into it, because sometimes when they're yelling over a toy, you will actually think that they want to kill each other. But
Yeah.
at the end of it, they're the best of friends. So I just like, look, it's two of you guys. You have all the time in the world. Just come up with a schedule who get to play with this one first. I know it's not hers. I know it's not his, but you guys got to learn how to share with each other.
Mm-hmm.
And if you don't learn how to share with each other, she's going to have something that you want to play with, or he's going to have something that you want to go to play with. And if you guys don't learn how to share with each other, communicate with each other, you guys will not be able to enjoy life. So
Yeah.
that's the thing about it. And I tell you, sometimes they fight like the world is going to end.
Like they ready, yeah, they tear each other apart.
hmm And by the end of it, they're the best friend. You wouldn't even tell that they just had a fight 2 seconds ago. And
And they
that's joy
probably
from a kid.
protective of each other too.
That's so
Don't
true.
mess
You're
with my
totally
sister. Like I might fight him, but don't mess with my sister or
right.
my brother.
Exactly. And don't tell everybody, but this is what I teach them, that look, you fight for each other. You
Yeah.
fight for each other, protect each other, look out for each other. And if anybody trouble the next one better step up and say something.
Yeah.
And I gave them a permission. Was like, if you guys are protecting each other, go for it. You will not get in trouble with me. I'll be there to fight for you as well. And if you
Yeah.
can't do it, then I will step in and fight for you.
Yeah. Yeah. And I think they probably appreciate that support from you, knowing that if they're helping each other out and they're supporting and protecting one another, that they'll still have your support. And it's not like you're going to come home and, be ragging on them because they, were protecting each other. So I'm sure they appreciate that support.
Right. And the other thing too is that they always will need something. So then you can just give them a reward. But like, okay, I know you need this. Your guys has been good. No fighting, nobody yelling at each other. Let's go out. Let's
Hmm.
do something. Let's go to the park. Let's go have ice cream. So you got to enforce the positive with
Yeah.
like a reward. Like, okay, since I'm doing good, I'm going to reinforce that so they can continue to do good. And I think the main thing is that you have to be that example to them. If you're
Yeah.
not that example, they don't have nothing to follow. And a lot of people don't understand that your kids watch you.
They
Even though
do.
you think they're not paying attention, they are watching everything that you do.
Yep. And that's funny because there's John Maxwell has a book called The 21 Irrefutable Laws of Leadership, and one of those laws is the law of the picture. And the law of the picture basically is talking exactly about what you're just saying, is that people watch you. Even our children, they're watching us and they're going to do what they see you do. So we are their examples. And I have to
Exactly.
tell you, yeah, I have to tell you though, I love to lock them in the room and let them duke it out. That definitely is a father response, because the moms would be like, wait, let's talk about this. What's going on? A lot of times that's what moms do, because we're more emotional creatures. And some of us can have that hardcore side, but a lot of times we got that gentle, nurturing side. Was like, all right, let me see what is going on. Tell me what's happening. And then they try to talk it through. But with your approach, being a father, it's like, y'all go ahead and duke it out. When you're done, you figured it out. Okay, cool. Let's go ahead and shake hands and make up. So I like that too.
Oh, so yeah, I didn't know that. Yeah, because I guess that's the side of me is like, look, figure it out, work it out. I'm not going to decide. As long
Yeah.
as you don't punch, kick, or bite, work it out.
Right. Yeah. So let me ask you this, because I think there's a difference with how women as mothers handle when their children say fall and get hurt, as opposed to how a guy would. Now, sometimes a woman see their kid fall and they're running over to them and they're picking them up and they're like, "Oh my God, are you okay? Come here, let me help you." And with the guys, it's like, just let him get up, like he's okay. What's your approach when it comes to, and is it different with the boys than it is with the girls?
It's 100% different with the boys versus the girl. Um,
Okay.
if my something happened to my daughter and stuff like that, I'm running over there. Are you okay? Let me see. Let me kiss it. Let me
Yeah.
make it better.
Uh-huh. Baby
Oh boo, I'm
girl.
so sorry. My boys, I was like, I'll rub some dirt on it. You'll be all right. Oh man, it's all good. Is it bleeding? Yeah, let me get it. So
Yeah.
it all depends on how much they're hurt as well.
Yeah.
As if my daughter see like a drop of blood, the world is over. I'm dying. Yeah. My
Yeah.
son, he got a scar. It's okay. I reassure him that it's gonna be okay. Dress him up. But I think I do approach it differently, though. I guess you can say I'm a little biased when it comes to my daughter versus my
Yeah.
son. With my daughters, I'm all like over the top. Okay, let me get it. Let me take care of it. Let me make it better. My stuff like that. I
Sounds about
guess
right.
yeah. With my sons, I'm like, it'll be all right, man. Just let me get it together. We get back out there and start playing.
And then you push them like, all right, go ahead on out there.
Yeah, go ahead out there. It's like
But that's what they
it's a
say,
battle
daddy's your
scar.
girl.
Yeah, it's a battle scar. You know what I mean? Be proud of it. Next year you're gonna be showing off. Look what happened to me.
Right.
Well, as a girl, they'll be like, yeah, I can't let anybody see this.
Yeah, they're gonna be trying to cover it up. Like, oh my God, I have a scar.
Hmm. But
Yeah.
yeah,
So
it's
how do you encourage communication with your children, whether that's communication with each other? Like we already heard that, if they're having some type of disagreement, you do try to allow them to work that out. But how do you encourage open communication between them and you, especially with the girls when they might talk about certain, sensitive topics and subjects as it comes to having your dad as opposed to being able to go to, like, say, your mom in that moment?
well, I learned this I started from an early age because I wanted to create a culture with my kids that they'll be able to come and speak with me about anything. At the time, I didn't know I was going to get divorced,
Mm,
but I tried to do something different than what was done in my life. In my life, that wasn't something that was done or encouraged. That wasn't something that was fostered to have an open communication. So
mm-hmm.
from their birth, I try to instill in them that if you need, you can always come talk to me about anything. I will get mad, but I won't show you. I will calm myself down, but I will get mad. It depends on what it is. And
Mm-hmm.
as a father, that is a right to be upset when something is wrong. But I try to encourage them that, look, I'm going to be the example of what open communication is. I'm going to speak to you just like I want you to speak to me. I'm going to use words that I want you to words that you should be using. I don't want you to be using blah 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 blah. I want you to speak to me
Right.
like you want me to speak to you. I want you to use I'm not going to use baby language, baby term because nobody understand that. So
Mm-hmm.
if I can open up with them and they can see that they can open up with me, the communication is much easier than if they think, okay, if I tell dad this, dad's going to get mad. If I tell dad that, he's not going to let me do that. I was like, no, we got to work it out. There is going to be consequence to some of the action that some of the action that you do, and I do let them know that there's consequence to action, so they understand. It depends on what it is, there will be consequence. But if they let me know, they also know that by letting me know, they have an advocate on their side to fight for them. So we talk about everything, and I incorporate that in games, like on nights when I have them.
Mm-hmm.
We do game night. Okay,
Okay.
okay. Whoever win get to pick out the game that we play next time. When we just sit down on the car ride when I pick them up, they're coming over my house because I keep them from Friday to Monday every week. On the car ride, how was your day? I call them in the morning. I call them in the night. How's school? What's going on in school? I show up to their events, no matter what
Yeah.
it is. I show up to their events. I be that presence in their life to let them know that okay, I can really talk to dad because dad is there for me.
He's
And as
present.
exactly, and I know some people are present, but they're still absent, and I do not want to
Mm-hmm.
be that person. So, in me creating that atmosphere, that example, and showing them that okay, that is here, so we can talk. And that's the other thing that I also that help is that I teach them how to talk to each other. No matter how mad you get at each other, still communicate with each other, talk to each other, and
Mm-hmm.
that's solve most of the issue that we have.
Yeah,
And
and
you
that's
know,
good having that communication and open. And I think that there's a level of trust that they have there, that they know that when you come, that they can talk to you when they come over there. They can talk to you. That they can, even though they know you might get upset about some things, they feel they've built up a level of trust. And so that's really exciting. So before we go on, I'm going to take a short commercial break, and then we're going to come right back and finish out this conversation.
uh,
Hey guys, we are back. You are watching The Queen's Lair, and I am your host, Kelly Miles. And we are talking about the single father experience. And we have with us Mr. Gregory Campbell, who was just sharing with us about being present in his children's lives and wanting to make sure that he's not just there, but present. And he was talking about how when the kids come over and they, spend time with him, he makes sure that they understand that they can talk to him and they have a communication pattern, that they feel comfortable to come to him regardless of what the response might be as far as him being upset or not. He's built that level of trust. And so I want to ask you about how you navigate the co-parenting between you and their mom, and to work, how do you work that out with navigating between the different styles of parenting? Because I know, like, again, mothers are different. Do you have to set boundaries for yourself or for their mother, or even for them coming from her house to your house?
well, my oldest son, he lives with me full time.
Mm-hmm.
So yes, definitely you have to set boundaries. Nobody told me this in the beginning, so I had to figure it out myself. And if you don't
Mm.
set boundary, you're opening up for chaos.
Yes.
And in the beginning, because there was no boundary, I just picked them up and just go and stuff like that. There was a little confusion, and I had to work at my form of communication because it was a problem. I'm not going to pretty it up.
Yeah.
It was issues in
Yeah.
the
Keep
beginning
it real.
because I didn't set boundaries. So pretty much I let the mom do whatever they want, dictated whatever they want and all the stuff. And I was just like, okay, okay, okay. But
Mm-hmm.
that becomes very stressful on the guy because if there's no boundary, it's always you giving, giving, giving just because you want to spend time with your kids.
Mm.
So once a boundary was set in place and stuff like that, um, to be honest, mom won't be mad at you just because of that. But once we got to the point that we understand that, look, me and you, we could hate each other from now till thy kingdom come.
Yep.
But it's not about us. It's about the kids, and it's whatever we want the kids them to see. Is that the face that we're gonna put forward? So once we set the boundary, the communication got better. Then the issues itself solve itself.
Mm-hmm.
So I just okay, where am I picking up my kids at? Okay, pick them
Yeah.
up here. Okay, and I drop them off to the bus stop on Monday. Who's gonna do clothes? What's gonna be clothes? I was like, don't worry, I'll buy them clothes. So I went out and you don't have to send clothes back and forth. They have their clothes here. They have their room there, and I buy clothes and they take clothes home. And like you said, my youngest daughter, she's 8 going on 40. This past weekend, she came over my house and we was talking, and she was like, "Oh, Dad, guess what?" So I thought she was going to tell me something about school. I was like, "Oh, I have a boyfriend." I was like, "What's his name? What's his address? I'm gonna kill him."
Yeah. Eight going on 40. That's for sure.
Yeah, she was like, "I have a boyfriend." I was like, "What's his name? Where he live? I'm gonna kill him." And she looked at me like, I was like, "I'm not gonna kill him. I'm just playing." And then she started telling me that he lives here. He liked me and all this other stuff. So I was like, "Do your mom know about it?" She's like, "Yes." "What do your mom say?" I was like, "Well, I have a lot to say about it, so we're gonna talk more about it. And I want to know this guy because you're too early. I want to make sure that she understand what that phrase
What does
means.
that even mean at 8? You
Exactly
know what I
what that
mean?
mean at 8.
Yeah.
I'm not ready to go to prison, not yet. So I got, so it's like, so I said with when the boundary was set, life became much easier for both of us, much simpler for both of us.
Yeah.
The routine was there, so we know, okay, we meet each other at this place at this time each week. I
Yeah.
get my kids, she goes her way, I go my way.
Yeah.
I get them ready for school, take them to school, drop them off. It's awesome.
Yeah.
So yeah, with being a single father, I've learned that it's all about being selfless, and it's not
Yeah.
easy because at time from time I want to do what I want to do, but I can't. I want to go
Yeah.
to. I learned that I'm the last one to go to sleep and the first one to wake up.
Mm-hmm.
Because when they're with me, I have to make breakfast, I have to make lunch, I have to make dinner, I have to watch them up, I have to get their clothes together. I have to talk to them, make sure schoolwork is ready for the day. I have to make lunch for school. And after they leave, I miss them so much. But then I look at the house and the house is wrecked. And I was like, yeah, I'm happy you guys are. But no, it's awesome. And I
Yeah.
said the boundary is the major part that need to be set.
Yeah.
You have to, and you have to have, no matter how much, you have to have that line of communication between the parents, and gotta keep gotta keep outside out. Gotta keep the grandparents out of it. Gotta keep it's between me and you. We didn't work, but we're gonna make this work for our children. They didn't ask to
Yeah,
be
and
here.
that's good. Yeah, and
Yeah.
that's good because we're getting ready to run out of time now. But I wanted to ask one question. But I think it's awesome that you said that because it does take a level of maturity as well and a lot of prayer so that you can make sure you're responding according to the way God would want you to and dealing with the relationship with mom, even though you guys aren't together, because you have to have a working relationship
Hmm.
because the kids are watching that interaction as well. So you talked about having to be the first one. I mean, the first one up and last one to go to bed. And you talked about, how you got to deal with the boundaries and putting boundaries in place for children. What do you say? Just take like a minute and tell me what you feel are some of the differences between being a single father than what the single mom experience would be that you would think of.
Well, tell the truth, I would not be able to speak on a single mom side because I've never been a mom.
Yeah,
Uh,
yeah,
but
I understand that. Yeah,
if just to draw from the experience, all the single mothers out there, my hats goes off to you because being a single father, I see what you have to do, per se. I know what you go through each and every single day. Um, I think dad have it a little bit easier because when we speak to our kids, we may have to speak to them once or twice, but once we get to the third
mm,
time, our active and everything changes. Like, okay, dad is serious. I'm gonna do it, and they push a father just as well to push a mother. But I figure they probably push you a little bit further than they would push me.
mm,
Um, I'm learning that I don't have to lay hands on them, but
mhm.
sometimes I think about it, especially my older
I
son.
think we all think about it.
Yeah, think about it, especially my older son. But it's being selfless because you have to just give up your time to make sure that they're okay,
Yeah,
that they have what they need and stuff like that, um, and to clean up after, the cooking after, the amount of chore. And once you do it in love, it doesn't seem like a chore. It doesn't seem like it's a burden because you're doing it out of love for your kids. And
yeah,
once it's finished and we get to sit around the table, we eat, we laugh, we talk, we play games together. My favorite thing with my kids is movie night, and they don't have a
yeah.
clue that
I like
that's my
movie nights.
favorite night.
Yeah.
We put up a movie on the projector. They pick the movie. I hate popcorn, but I still try to eat popcorn with them. We still laugh. My daughter, my daughter. And the thing about it is that my kids, they can see when I'm down.
Yeah,
Not all the days are going to be up as a single father or the single mother. Some days you're going to have down days, and your kids will see that. And when they come and just give you that hug, it just
yeah,
makes everything else melts away.
yeah,
So I know the struggle a female goes through, just to be by themselves. This is the same struggle that a male go through. I don't think there's much difference in between a single mother and a single father. I don't think there's much
Mhm.
different. It's just if you set the structure, and let the kids
Yeah.
then know from early that okay, this is what you can expect from me, and this is what you should expect from me. Um, and once you got that in place, everything will go smoothly. Everything
Yeah.
will.
Yeah. That's good. Structure, support, trust, boundaries are
Hmm.
all great things that I think you have said. And is there any other tips before we close out that you would give to single fathers out there, especially our young single fathers? Because you figure it's not often that we hear about our single fathers, especially the young ones, but they are out there. And just give one or two words of encouragement before we get ready to close out to our young single fathers.
Your kids. The best thing I can tell you is that your child needs you. Okay,
Yes.
your child needs you. No matter what's going on between you and the mother, your child needs you. It's nothing like having a father in their life. You'll see how much the child will brighten up, how much better they'll do in life because they know that you are there. Find a way to be there. If they can't stay the night with you, spend time with them.
Yes.
Simple walk in the park, just sit and talk is is priceless. Those are times that you can never buy back. Those are times that you will always remember. Just spend time with them, talk to them. They need you. And
Yes.
if you find it hard, I tell you, just find yourself a church family, a real
Mhm.
church home would have real men in that church that you can actually talk to. There's nothing wrong with seeking help. If that
Yeah.
relationship you think is broken, you don't know how to mend it, just find somebody that you can get some mentorship from, some leadership, some guidance. And once you get that, put it in action.
Put it in
And
action.
I'll have to end with this thing: action speak volumes.
Yes.
So just don't say it, but do it. Because when you make a promise to give children,
They look
they
for it.
look forward to it. And when you don't
Yes.
show up, it's even a worse disappointment than you could ever think. And I'm
Yeah, that's
speaking from
good. That's
experience.
good. Yes, that's good. Thank you so much, Greg. I think you have really, shared some great insight into the experience of being a single father. And I just want to say thank you so much for joining and sharing your experience and being open. And hopefully, this will be kind of the opener for some other guys to step up and share their experience too. And we can come back and revisit this. So, thank you so
Thank you
much
for having
for
me. Thank you for
joining.
having me. I appreciate it.
Yes.
And I won't be a single father for long.
Well, all right. Praise God. Yeah. Well, congratulations ahead of time.
Thank you. Thank you.
All
Thank you
right.
for having me. It was my pleasure being in Queen's Lair. I pray and prosperity over this show. And I pray that something that was said tonight will be able to touch someone's heart and create change in their life.
Yes. Thank you. Absolutely. I appreciate that. All right, so we have come to the end of the show. Hopefully, you guys will be able to take in what he said, being present, setting boundaries, building a communication and a trust with your children so that they can come to you. But just make sure you guys stay tuned for the next episode. If you would like to watch this or other episodes, you can check out our YouTube page right here, and we will see you on the next episode. Thanks for watching The Queen's Lair. Stay tuned for the next episode.